Everyone, thank you for coming today to this closing press conference of the 31st Ministerial Council here in beautiful Valletta. Without further ado, I'll hand the floor over to Minister Borge, our Chair in Office, for his remarks.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. As we conclude these 2 days here in Malta, I wish to begin by warmly welcoming Feridun Shinorlioglu as the newly appointed Secretary General of the OSCE. Congratulations, dear Feridun. Your office will require not only leadership, but also the ability to reconcile complexity with purpose and to steer the OSCE throughout these turbulent times. I wish you every success in the challenges ahead. As you know, earlier today, consensus was reached on several critical decisions that will shape the OSCE's future. These include the appointment of Feridun Shinorlioglu as OSCE Secretary General, Maria Telailian as Director of the OSCE Office of Democratic Institutions and Human Rights, Christoph Kamp as OSCE High Commissioner on National Minorities, and Jan Bratu as OSCE Representative on Freedom of the Media. Achieving these outcomes was no easy feat. It required months of negotiation and tireless diplomacy, and a shared belief in preserving the OSCE's functionality. Today, we have demonstrated that even in adversity, this organization remains a cornerstone of multilateralism, a beacon for those who believe in diplomacy's power to create a more secure, stable, and just world. When Malta was asked to assume the chairpersonship of the OSCE a year ago, it was not a responsibility we sought, but one we felt compelled to accept. The OSCE was at an impasse, faced with fundamental geopolitical divisions and institutional paralysis. At that moment, Malta rose to the occasion, firmly believing in the purpose of the OSCE and its vital role in promoting peace, security, and dialogue. Taking on this chairpersonship at the 11th hour, with only weeks of preparation, was an unprecedented challenge. Yet, it has also reinforced a simple truth. When multilateralism is at stake, decisive action becomes a necessity. Engagement is the only way to get things done, for the benefit of the people and for the benefit of our organization. Amid the short but intense preparations for our chairpersonship, we crystallized our vision around a motto that captured our aspirations: strengthening resilience, enhancing security. The lighthouse from our logo represents our principles and commitments, providing guidance as we navigate turbulent times. The fort stands for the OSCE's resilience as a bastion of indivisible security. Over the past year, we have worked tirelessly to keep the OSCE functioning during one of the most challenging periods in its history. Russia's war against Ukraine has not only devastated millions of lives, it has also contested the foundations of Europe's security architecture. That is why we made a deliberate decision to put Ukraine at the center of our work. Our duty was, and still is, to do all we can to help Ukraine alleviate the appalling effects of the war. My first visit as chair in office was, in fact, to Kiev to set the tone for our unwavering commitment in the beginning of the year, leading to impactful projects like the capacity building initiative to support Ukraine's efforts in investigating serious crimes, including cases of deported children. At the same time, our engagement extended across the OSCE region, from the Western Balkans and Central Asia to the South Caucasus and Moldova. I visited field operations and met with leaders to reinforce the OSCE's role in driving reform, fostering stability, and building resilience. These field missions are the heartbeat of our organization, turning abstract commitments into concrete action on the ground. Allow me to briefly review some of the thematic highlights of the past 12 months. First, we have put a special focus on the challenges of the digital age. At the Cybersecurity Conference in Malta last July, we reaffirmed the OSCE's pioneering role in global cyber diplomacy, assessing emerging threats and practical steps to increase confidence building among actors in the digital sphere. Second, we addressed the nexus between climate resilience and security. Our climate conference last June in Malta highlighted actionable strategies for adaptation and mitigation. We also tackled the pressing issues of food security and water management. The latter is an area where Malta's expertise provided valuable insights. Third, we have been active in the promotion of core values of democracy and fundamental freedoms, such as media literacy and the safety of journalists. We engaged with our partners in civil society, in particular at our Human Dimension Conference in Warsaw, and 2 days ago at the Civil Society Conference here in Malta. We value their perceptions and experiences to uphold human rights and fundamental freedoms in an increasingly challenging environment. Besides the thematic work, we had to tackle some important institutional challenges: appointing the new leadership of the OSCE, agreeing on a solid budget, and finding a future chair. At first, this might sound dry or technical, but let me assure you it wasn't. Achieving consensus among all 57 participating states is no small task, especially in times of deep divisions. And in the OSCE, even the smallest decisions are tied to politics. It's not ideal, but it is the reality we work with. What matters is that we faced it head-on, knowing that every step forward keeps this organization moving and delivering where it counts. I am proud that here in Malta we achieved consensus on the executive leadership of the OSCE. They will help us shape the future of this organization and its ability to continue fulfilling its vital mission. As I have often said, diplomacy is not about convenience, it's about necessity. It is pleasant to reach quick agreements with our friends and allies, but it is often far more important to engage with those who disagree with us. This is the very essence of the OSCE. As Malta's chairpersonship concludes, we pass on the baton to Finland. The journey from Helsinki in 1975 to Helsinki in 2025 is not merely a passage of time, it's a testament to 5 decades of resilience, to the enduring belief that dialogue, even in the face of division, can build the foundations of peace. Next year marks the 50th anniversary of the Helsinki Final Act, a significant milestone for our organization. We have every confidence in Finland's leadership to navigate the challenges ahead and look forward to continuing our strong cooperation as Troika members. In closing, I would like to express my deepest gratitude to the entire OSCE family, the Secretariat, the teams of ODIHR, the High Commissioner on National Minorities, and the representative on freedom of the media, the field missions, and to the countless individuals who make this organization what it is. In particular, I want also to extend heartfelt thanks to the officers in charge who stepped up during this critical period to ensure the uninterrupted functioning of the OSCE Secretariat and institutions. To my own team, both in Vienna and in Malta, their dedication has been nothing short of extraordinary. Thank you. They have embodied the very spirit of multilateralism, steadfast, selfless, and determined. Malta's legacy is not a perfect OSCE, but definitely a more resilient one. In a year of significant challenges, we have shown that even when the odds are stacked against us, multilateralism can prevail. This experience also underscores the important role that small countries can play in navigating critical junctures, proving that size is no barrier to leadership or impact. It's my hope and my belief that the OSCE will continue to be a beacon of hope, dialogue, and cooperation, not just for our generation, but for those who come after us. I thank you, and I also now invite our new Secretary General, Gir Feridun, to take the floor and share his remarks.
Good afternoon. Thank you for your kind introduction, Minister Borg. I am looking forward to working closely with you and with Minister Valtonen as the incoming Finnish chair in office for 2025. Taking on the job of Secretary General of the OSCE is both a great honor and a great responsibility. The agreement of the 57 participating states under your leadership not only demonstrates their faith in the OSCE as an organization, but also their trust in me and the heads of the three institutions. I carry this trust with a deep sense of pride and duty into my new role. I know that this job will not be easy. There are real and complex challenges facing the entire OSCE region, not least the war in Ukraine. But I am ready to do my part in steering the OSCE and supporting the chair and the 57 participating states in ensuring that the organization continues to deliver for the people who rely on us. Stepping into this new role, my immediate priorities are to immerse myself in the work of the organization and get to know the dedicated staff across the OSCE. They have continued to work tirelessly despite uncertainty. Their commitment is how the OSCE turns decisions at negotiating tables into real, meaningful action on the ground. I will also take stock of the organization's administration and operations. I am determined to ensure that the OSCE remains agile and ready to respond to the evolving security landscape and the participating states' needs. Working closely with the chair in office, I will support them in delivering on their priorities and addressing tensions and conflicts. My role as Secretary General will allow me to act as a bridge and a facilitator between participating states toward consensus and solutions. Profound challenges and real opportunities lie ahead for the OSCE. I will work very hard and try to carry the organization forward and deepen the OSCE's impact on comprehensive security for us all. Finally, I would like to pay tribute to my predecessor, Helga Maria Schmidt, for her wise stewardship of the OSCE over the last number of very challenging years. I very much look forward to working closely with the Secretariat Senior Leadership Team and their staff, the staff in the field, and the three institutions. Since I referenced the staff, I pledge also, like my predecessor, to do all in my power to secure the release of our three detained OSCE colleagues, Vadim Golda, Maxim Petrov, and Dimitro Shabanov. Again, thank you very much, Minister Borg, dear Jan. Thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you very much, Minister and Secretary General. Of course, we're very pleased to have our new Secretary General with us here today. Understandably, he's not necessarily in a position to answer detailed questions about the OSCE, as he was only appointed about an hour ago. So with that in mind, I'll open the floor to questions. I'll go first to F.A. Antonio. Is there a microphone? Thank you.
Thank you very much. This is Antonio Sanchez with EFE, the Spanish news agency. Mrs. Borg, first of all, a clarification. You post that the consensus on the top 4 jobs are for 5 years. I don't know if that was a mistake or it's not for the usual 3.
Since I have the possibility to edit tweets,
Okay, it was already...
I edited and it's 3.
Okay, sorry, I didn't see that. Okay, perfect. And
No
now the question.
I had to do it in 30 minutes and I
Okay.
managed. Otherwise, you don't have that possibility anymore.
Okay, thank you. So the question, there was much optimism, even hope, on the possibility of releasing the deadlock on 3 big issues, not only the top jobs, but also the budget and the countries that will take the chairpersonships in 2026 and 2027. Apparently, only there was consensus in one of these topics. Do you consider that a kind of failure, or do you think that at least the decision on the top jobs will give the OSCE some breathing space to hold out? And a second question, if I may, until now, the last years, was the Russian attitude was blocking the decisions on all these issues. Apparently, this is not the case anymore. It was Azerbaijan who prevented a consensus to be reached on the budget. From an optimistic point of view, does it mean that Russia is willing now to be back on the dialogue and consensus policy of the OSCE? That is not the country blocking the decisions anymore. Thank you.
365 days ago, there was no hope that this organization was going to find a chairperson to be accepted by all. So the fact that some expectations were raised by others, not necessarily the chairperson itself, is a good sign in itself. And I think a year later, we are definitely leaving a more resilient organization that managed to come out of those challenges where, as you rightly pointed out in your second question, was not able to achieve anything, no unanimous decisions, to a one where today we decided to stop at the top 4 positions. We won't close the doors until the end of year for other possible decisions, namely the budget. And my message to all participating states, including those participating states that are still not sure whether to agree or not to the budget, I remind them that during my tour in the various countries where the OSCE has field missions, program offices, and not least the head office in Vienna, these officials, whole wealth of expertise, they would like to have certainty, they would like to have the necessary resources to carry out their job. They want to carry out their job, and if we don't give them those tools, if we don't agree on a budget, all this remains uncertain. So we'll keep doing our best. Achieving the top 4 positions is, in my opinion, a big feat, as you rightly pointed out. I started the day with a comment on my social media. I usually don't reply to comments, and someone said, does this mean that also Russia is going to possibly agree on the top 4? And I said, all 57 participating states. And this brings me to your second question. It's good if they understood that this organization is crucial. This organization, first of all, is crucial to remind themselves that they are in violation of the very Helsinki Final Act that they signed to 49 years ago. And it's good that now all 57 are giving their support to the new leadership. It would be much easier for the new leadership if this war comes to an end yesterday, whilst upholding the UN Charter and other respective international laws. So I do hope that this is the prelude to more constructive decisions in the multilateral fora, and as I said, hopefully the end to the Russians' war of aggression against Ukraine. Not least, as the new section mentioned, the release of the 3 OSCE officials that are still detained illegally.
Great. Could we go to James from Times of Malta? Could I get the microphone, please? Thank you.
Thank you. This question goes to both gentlemen, please. Yesterday it was reported that Poland's foreign minister had called on the OSCE to suspend Russia from the OSCE. The same day foreign minister, I'm sorry?
Can you repeat?
Sorry, yes. It was reported that Poland's foreign minister?
Poland, okay.
Yes. Had called on the OSCE to suspend Russia from the organization. The same day, Foreign Minister Lavrov arrived late for the meeting and then used his speech to launch into a tirade of pro-Kremlin propaganda, before leaving with no sign of having established dialogue with other foreign leaders. So my question is, what is your response to those who would argue that it has come time to suspend Russia from the organization? And would you both support that move? Thank you.
We have many organizations of like-minded where Russia is not a member. If Russia would not form part of the OSCE can end up like the other multilateral fora where Russia is not a member. So, as I told you yesterday, as a reply to your questions, I rather have the other 56, looks like we're still 55, telling Russia on the same table to stop this war and retract from Ukraine's sovereign territory. Because as I said in my speech, it's easy to discuss and to agree amongst friends and allies. But ultimately, sometimes, especially with the backdrop of raging wars, to engage with those who started and can stop this war immediately.
Yeah, thank you. I have been elected as Secretary General of an organization which consists of 57 participating states, and I don't have any mandate to comment on the number of the participating states. Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to Peter with ORF.
Peter Fritz, Austrian Television, ORF. Mr. Secretary General, where do you see the most urgent challenges or maybe opportunities for OSCE when it comes to Ukraine? Will OSCE have to wait for the warring parties to find some arrangement, or do you see some active role of OSCE towards facilitating any arrangement?
Thank you. OSCE is an organization of comprehensive security which puts diplomacy above everything else. And therefore, I do hope that if the two parties start a process, they can benefit from the opportunities and tools of the OSCE. Thank you.
Got TV Malta, please.
Sensaqsi bil-Malti, nixtieq nistaqsi nagħmel żewġ mistoqsijiet li Chair in Office Ian Borg. L-ewwel nett mill-lat iktar lokali, x'legat politiku tara illi se jħall
Interpretation.
Namela bil-inkompli. Xi legat politiku tara li se jħalli dan il-Kunsill u kif tara li Malta is-sena d-dieħla għal-futur tista' tkompli tkun parti importanti minn diskussjonijiet dwar sigurtà u paċi fl-Ewropa u lil minna. It-tieni mistoqsija, ovvjament kif mistenni ħafna mill-focus ta' dan il-Kunsill kien fuq is-sigurtà, lura dak li jitratta l-invażjoni Russa fl-Ukrajna, però llum ukoll qbiltu fuq numru ta' uffiċjali oħrajn li se jkunu responsabbli minn setturi oħra bħal drittijiet tal-minoranzi, ġeneru u wkoll libertà tal-istampa tal-medja. Kemm tara illi l-OSCE fi żmien li ġej taħt presidenza ġdida wkoll għandha tintensifika l-ħidma tagħha f'dawn l-oqsma.
Grazzi. Qabel xejn dwar il-legat, irrid infakkar illi qatt qabel ma kellek ċirkustanza fejn pajjiż ikun qiegħed jippresjedi l-OSCE u fl-istess kien iservi fuq il-Kunsill tas-Sigurtà. Jiġifieri dawn is-sentejn u propju din is-sena għal Malta kienu storiċi u naħseb li kienu opportunità unika għall-uffiċjali Maltin, għad-diplomats tagħna, għall-ambaxxaturi, għar-rappreżentanti permanenti, illi juru l-kumplament tal-komunità internazzjonali illi li inti titwielet f'pajjiż ta' 314 il-kilometru kwadru u li tkun popolazzjoni ta' ftit iktar minn 900,000 ma jfissirx li inti m'għandekx x'toffri għal paċi u l-istabilità mhux biss pajjiżek imma f'dan il-każ fid-dinja u fir-reġjun illi inti tkun ġej minnu. Jiena minn hawn l-ewwel nett nixtieq nibda billi nirringrazzjahom. Ħafna drabi bħal din il-konferenza qed nidher jien, qed nitkellem jien, ir-ritratti tiegħi imma dan huwa s-suċċess ta' mijiet ta' żgħażagħ u uffiċjali oħrajn biktar esperjenza illi ħadmu fil-head office fi Vienna, fi New York u fl-ambaxxati l-oħrajn madwar id-dinja. Il-fatt li Malta hija militarment neutrali naħseb f'din iċ-ċirkustanza uriet kemm fadlilha rilevanza u fejn setet tkun f'data minn kulħadd mis-57 pajjiż, mis-56 pajjiż biex tersa' l qudiem. Aħna stajna faċilment ngħidu ma nafx jekk kienx hemm pajjiżi oħrajn li ġew mitkellma qabel u qalu hekk, ma aħna stajna faċilment ngħidu isma' aħna qed inservu fuq il-Kunsill tas-Sigurtà, aħna pajjiż żgħir, aħna ma tantx għandna riżorsi, li ħadd iswilna ħafna flus. U naħseb aħjar jagħmilha ħadd ieħor. Ħadd ma kien ħajjed xejn kieku weġibna b'dak il-mod. Però aħna ħassejna li jekk stajna nikkontribwixxu anke jekk kien ikollna nissalbu nagħmlu sagrifiċċji kbar biex nagħmluha, ħassejna li għandna nidħlu għaliha. U nallaċċaħħa l-ewwel mistoqsija tal-kollega tiegħek fejn sena ilu fi Skopje kulħadd kien xettiku, interessanti kummenti ta' nies li qaluli oqgħod attent li din l-organizzazzjoni ma tmutx f'ħoġrok. Jiġifieri seta' jiġrilna hekk. U kieku hawnhekk qegħdin f'ċirkustanza fejn kulħadd qiegħed jattakka lil Malta illi l-organizzazzjoni mietet waqt it-tmexxija tagħna. Minflok qed intuwa għodda ġdida, Segretarju Ġenerali, 3 diretturi awtonomi, maħniex naqtaw qalbna fuq il-budget u jekk le ċert illi l-Finlandiżi ikomplu jagħmlu biċċa xogħol tajba, ilna 3 snin issa mingħajr budget fl-organizzazzjoni, Irrid ngħid li ovvjament għandha il-finanzjament imma mhux budget approvat għaliex kieku ma tħaddimx il fuq minn 2000 uffiċjal u tagħmel numru ta' programmi u xogħlijiet. U anke fuq min ser ikompli ċerja fil-futur. Jiġifieri naħseb il-legat li qed tħalli Malta huwa wieħed ċar u mill-ġdid grazzi lil kull min ikkontribwixxa. Fuq il-futur ta' din l-organizzazzjoni naħseb li kulħadd għandu jirrifletti u kulħadd għandu jagħmel l-eżami tal-kuxjenza tiegħu għaliex ħadd m'għandux jimmunita mill-isfidi illi taħdem fuqhom din l-organizzazzjoni. Jekk hux id-demokrazija, jekk hux is-saltna tad dritt, jekk hux il-libertà tal-espressjoni, il-protezzjoni tal-ġurnalisti, jekk hux l-aspett ta' sikurtà fil-frontieri u nistgħu nibqgħu nsemmu. Violenza domestika, ugwaljanza tal-ġeneru. Naħseb l-ebda pajjiż kemm l-iżjed wieħed żviluppat u kemm l-iżjed wieħed li għandu sfidi minn fost dawn is-57 ma jista' jgħid li hu perfett. Żgur mhux Malta perfetta, imma laqas is-56 l-oħra huma perfetti. U allura din l-organizzazzjoni naħseb illi kulħadd għandu bżonna u kulħadd għandu jara kif jikkontribwixxi lejha.
Thanks. We have time for one more question. Yeah. Okay. Malta today. No, you didn't want your question. TV Poland. Yeah.
Thank you. To the OSCE Secretary General, please. As you've both pointed out, the OSCE is based on consensus. It requires 57 member states to come to decisions, including the likes of Russia. Now, the Polish Foreign Minister, he's talked about the organisation at this point in time because of the war being paralysed. How difficult is your new job in making real progress and getting the consensus of all 57 states over your term?
Thank you for the question. I have to wait and see. How the working climate will be in the Permanent Council and among the participating states, of course. I will be a good facilitator for them and try to do my best to achieve consensus with their help. Without them, I cannot do anything. Thank you.
Sorry, that's all that we have time for. So thank you very much, Minister. Thank you very much, Secretary General. Those of you who were participating in the pool for the closing session, please gather outside. The rest of you will be escorted back to the media center. Have a great rest of the afternoon.